You know, it seems like everyone these days wants to know your Social Security number. In fact, what's yours, Molly?
Not giving it to you.
Okay. Well, you don't trust me? Come on, I would never leak it. You know, from the cable company to health clubs, everyone wants your Social Security number. But how can you keep crooks from stealing your identity?
Security specialist Robert Siciliano knows. He's in Boston, and thank you for joining us today. So tell me, this is what my issue is that everybody asks for your Social Security number. Online, the doctor's office. When do you know when you have to give it and when you don't?
Well, the funny thing is, most of these private companies that ask for your SSN don't even know why they're asking for it. They just use that as an account number, and in reality, they can use an alternative account number that has nothing to do with your Social Security number. But they've been using it for so long, it's just become a customary that they use these 9 digits as your primary identifier.
All right, Robert, Judge Napolitano is a good friend of ours here on Fox and Friends, obviously. He says that you should only give it to a government entity. What do you say about that?
Well, actually, it's only the Social Security Administration that needs it, and only Medicaid and just a few other government entities. And when they ask for it, they're actually required to provide you with a privacy disclosure notice. And otherwise, any other organization, including other government agencies, don't actually need it. So what I always recommend people do is you offer them a driver's license, let's say, if it's not your Social Security number, as an alternative. And if they continue to fight you on it, then you may actually have to educate them on the fact that they just don't need those numbers. And so for the consumer, that may end up being an uphill battle, because really you're faced with educating that organization that, in fact, it's almost illegal for them to ask for that.
All right, this is good advice, because it's so easy to get. If they have your Social Security number online, then they can steal your identity, and many other things can happen. Thank you, Robert Siciliano, for joining.
Audra Schmierer has been a stay-at-home mom for 6 years. Now that her son's in school, she wants to return to work, so she applied to a temp agency.
They called me 3 or 4 hours later and said, Mrs. Schmierer, I don't understand why you're applying. You already work here.
At a big tech company, a similar experience.
Here's my driver's license, my passport, my Social Security card. I gave him everything. And she said, well, really, how can you actually prove you're you? What if those people have the same documentation you do?
Schmierer has discovered more than 200 illegal aliens throughout the United States are doing jobs Americans supposedly won't do by using her Social Security number. They work in fast food chains, cosmetic companies, even receive dividends from Microsoft.
I started to gather all this information and really found out how extreme the situation was. It's scary.
Her ordeal began last year with a bill from the IRS for nearly $16,000 in back taxes for a job in Texas. She lives in Dublin, California.
My husband was actually quite upset. He asked me when I had ever been to Texas.
She tracked down the illegal alien whose phony tax return triggered the IRS bill. He told her he bought her Social Security number and a fake green card at this Texas flea market.
I don't understand how illegal aliens can come across here and commit a felony. Identity theft is a felony. And be excused from that felony to continue living their life when I cannot live my life.
By January, Schmierer faced a $1 million IRS bill. She was temporarily detained by Customs returning from a foreign business trip with her husband, and her Social Security account now shows a zero balance, erasing 14 years of work before her marriage.
Social Security right now sends me to IRS. IRS sends me to Social Security. Every now and then they'll send me to the FTC, whom I have a case with. No one wants to do anything about it. Right now, I have nowhere to go.
Schmierer spends several hours a day trying to clear her name. The IRS has canceled her bill, but Social Security won't give her a new number. She says all 35 employers she's contacted have refused to take action against the workers using her number.
It's cheap labor, and they don't care.
Neither do most senators. John Ensign brought Schmierer's case to their attention, and they still approved Social Security benefits for illegal aliens using stolen identities.
The crime of identity theft and Social Security fraud are not victimless crimes. The victims of these crimes are American citizens and legal immigrants.
Online, you really are who you say you are. The things you say or write take on a life of their own. They form your identity. But the social networking sites where we express ourselves don't just focus on individuals. Instead, they make their money repackaging user data into trends and patterns. Personal data has become a hot commodity, and social sites are the public face of a much larger commercial operation. Knowing your hometown, your favorite TV show, or your politics is where the money is. And once information is added to the database, users have little control. Check out one such user agreement. By posting user content to any part of the site, you automatically grant the company an irrevocable, perpetual, non-exclusive, transferable, fully paid worldwide license to use, copy, publicly perform, display, reformat, translate, excerpt such user content for any purpose. So on social sites, it isn't really all about you, but your data. Businesses trade in the information that we enter, what we like and where we live, and what our interests are. Then advertisers can target us for products. Today's technology makes social sites a goldmine of information for marketing companies, or political interest groups, or potential employers. As data about you is shared, what will it mean? How about more catalogs on your doorstep, or more email adverts in your inbox? Maybe even more questions during your next job interview. The ways that personal information can be used, repackaged, and sold are virtually limitless. And as social sites become more popular, every time you add more data about yourself, it's as though you're answering a survey. And on the basis of that information, others will make decisions about you, about your employability, about your work ethic, about your other preferences, all without your knowledge or consent or ever actually having been asked. So next time you update your information online, ask yourself some tough questions first. For more information, please visit the website of the Office of the Privacy Commissioner of Canada, privcom.gc.ca.